Getty Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action. Crystal Palace 2-3 Manchester United. Crystal Palace, who have never beaten Manchester United in the Premier League, took the lead after 11 minutes when Andros Townsend ran onto Christian Benteke's square ball and struck a left-foot shot that deflected off Victor Lindelof past goalkeeper David De Gea. The hosts went 2-0 in front 3 minutes into the second half when Jeffrey Schlupp took a quick free kick after a foul on Benteke, and left-back Patrick Van Aanholt raced at goal before firing past De Gea to put Palace in the driving seat. United pulled the goal back 7 minutes later when the unmarked Chris Smalling headed in Antonio Valencia's cross and equalized in the 76th when Alexis Sanchez's effort came back off the bar and Romelu Lukaku turned two defenders to fire home. Matic then snatched the points when his volley from 25 meters curled away from diving keeper Wayne Hennessy into the top corner to put United back into second spot on 62 points, 16 behind Manchester City, and left Palace in the relegation zone. See how the match unfolded as it happened below. Reuters. Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action. That's all folks. 22:30. Thanks for joining me tonight for what I think you will agree was an unexpected treat. Not for Crystal Palace, obviously. Anyway, I'll be back again tomorrow night to bring you live coverage of the Champions League with Liverpool in action against Porto, and PSG welcoming Real Madrid to the Parc des Princes. Disgraceful, childish goal. 22-25. More from Manchester United boss Jose Mourinho. That disgraceful, childish second goal changed everything. But the players kept an amazing attitude. Juan Mata was finding spaces inside, Marcus Rashford was open on the left and brought their right back wide to give us more space in the middle. You always need that little bit of luck to win a match in the last few minutes. Sometimes the winner is the one who deserves the congratulations, but I think Roy Hodgson did everything right. I cannot tell you half of the things I told my team at halftime because there would be lots of bleeping on television. But what I can say was all about the tactical positioning. To come back from 2-0 down away from home against a team that is desperate for points, it gives us a great feeling. Reuters. Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action. We will put on a show against Chelsea. 22-20. Andros Townsend. We were still going strong in the last 10 minutes. David De Gea pulled off a world-class save and then one of their players pulls off a world-class strike at the other end. It's the Premier League and unfortunately we were on the wrong end of it tonight. We have proved we can pull off shocks against the top sides. We will put on a show on Saturday against Chelsea and hopefully pull off another shock. It was an amazing match. 22-18. Manchester United boss Jose Mourinho. I think Palace deserve congratulations, because a match like this is only possible with two teams. I would say it was with three teams because the referee wanted to keep the intensity of the game going. It was a fantastic match. It was a difficult match for me because my team made so many mistakes. We played very good quality football in the second half, but we made so many defensive mistakes. I don't like my teams to lose their organization like we did, but it was an amazing match and a very important win for us. Reuters. Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action. Hopefully we can do better. 22-15. Manchester United match winner Nemanja Matic. After 2-0 it was very difficult for us to come back because they had the crowd behind them, but we showed character. We believed until the end and we did exactly what the manager wanted from us. He said at halftime that we had to do more than in the first half, and I'm happy for these 3 important points. We are improving. We need to do more for sure, because in, let's say, small games, we have dropped some very important points. The quality is there for sure, but we have to be honest, we have to do more. There are 5 or 6 teams that can realistically challenge for the title. I hope that next season, and the end of this season, we will learn from our mistakes. And hopefully we can do better. Jose speaks. 22-13. Jose Mourinho is speaking to Sky Sports right now. He's in unusually high spirits. I think I know why after that cracking match, and started by congratulating Crystal Palace and referee Niels Warbrick for a great match. Reuters. Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action. Did you know? 22-10. Nemanja Matic's winner was his first goal for Manchester United, and it was also the first goal Palace have conceded beyond the 90th minute in the Premier League this season. United have now scored 11 Premier League goals from outside the box this season, joint most with Manchester City. Don't really know what you're supposed to do with that information. To be honest, what a difference. 22:05. How quickly things can change. Crystal Palace were 15 minutes away from climbing out of the relegation zone with their first win in 6 matches. They now remain in the bottom 3 with a trip to Stamford Bridge on the menu next week. Twitter roundup: perhaps Mourinho will learn from that attack is best form of defense, especially given the attackers UTD have always looked better when positive, rather than negative. Richard: what a hit, son. Magic Matic as good. And as De Gea at the other. Jackie: bloody effing hell. Nemanja Matic: what a hit, son. What a hit. Take a bow. Reuters: Crystal Palace vs Man UTD live updates. Latest Premier League action. Crystal Palace 2-3, Manchester United, and that's the last action of the game. Manchester United have somehow clawed their payback from 2-0 down to win 3-2 at Selhurst Park. The Crystal Palace players are crestfallen. Crystal Palace 2-3, Manchester United, MATIC 91. What? Nemanja Matic has broken Crystal Palace hearts by scoring one straight from the top drawer. A clearance drops kindly for him just outside the penalty area and the midfielder takes a touch before pinging it into the top left-hand corner. 90. Not what Jose Mourinho wanted. He's got no substitutes left and Romelu Lukaku looks to have a groin injury. We'll deal with that later, but the fourth official has indicated there will be 3 minutes of added time. Reuters: Crystal Palace vs Man UTD live updates. Latest Premier League action. 88. Palace are still going for this. They've still got 2 strikers on the pitch and have just seen a Townsend shot blocked. 86. Jose hits the deck. The Portuguese tactician is livid with a soft free kick given against his side and slips in the process. He laughs it off, but that'll be a gift for life. 83. Clumsy challenge from Kelly gifts United a free kick just left of center around 30 yards from goal. Mata to take, nothing doing. It's easily cleared but the ball just keeps coming back. 80. Palace make a change with Schlupp replaced by Riedwald. 78. What a save. David De Gea has once again proved he's the best goalkeeper in the Premier League with a superb reflex save from Benteke's bullet header. 77. Romelu Lukaku has scored or assisted 11 goals in his last 11 appearances for Manchester United, 8 goals, 3 assists. Reuters: Crystal Palace vs Man UTD live updates. Latest Premier League action. Crystal Palace 2-2, Manchester United, LUKAKU 76. That won't make the highlights reel, but what an important goal it could prove to be. Romelu Lukaku drags Manchester United back with an expertly taken finish. Alexis Sanchez's shot bounces off the crossbar and falls to the Belgian, who delays before slamming in the rebound. 75. Is it a goal? Nemanja Matic thinks so. His snapshot almost sneaks over the line, but Benteke of all people is there to clear off the line. 74. Just the 21 players in the Crystal Palace half. Manchester United are probing from left to right, but there's still no give from the hosts. 71. Mata wastes a free kick on the left. He ignores all of his colleagues inside the area and shoots wide instead. Not too smart. 70. So that's Manchester United playing without both of their starting fullbacks. Looks like Lingard and Rashford will be asked to track back. Reuters: Crystal Palace vs Man UTD live updates. Latest Premier League action. 67. And here's those changes. Luke Shaw on for Ashley Young, while Juan Mata replaces Antonio Valencia. 65. Close. Van Aanholt floats across into Benteke, who generates decent power but sends it wide. Jose Mourinho is about to make a double substitution. 62. Wan-Bissaka is making a name for himself. He's a contender for man of the match tonight as he stops Marcus Rashford in his tracks. 59. Young is booked for pulling back MacArthur. The visitors have finally got it together now. I fully expect Hennessy's goal to be peppered for the next 40 minutes. Crystal Palace 2-1, Manchester United, SMALLING 58. The comeback is on. Manchester United's corner is cleared only as far as Antonio Valencia, who plays a delightful chip to the back post for Chris Smalling to nod home. James Tompkins was at fault. He played everyone onside. Crystal Palace vs Man UTD live updates. Latest Premier League action. Crystal Palace 2-0. Manchester United 55. Jose Mourinho has got a pen and paper out. Presumably he's scribbling down which players need to be booted out during the summer sales. I've got my own list, and it's darn lengthy. 54. Chris Smalling should level things up. He rises highest to meet a corner with Hennessy missing, but he guides it Wide .51, Pogba tries his luck from distance but it's held by Hennessy. Crystal Palace 2-0, Manchester United, FANANHOLT 48, what? Crystal Palace have doubled their advantage after catching Manchester United sleeping. Quick thinking Schlupp sets Van Aanholt free with a rapid free kick. And he beats De Gea at the near post. Jose Mourinho is throwing his arms around and shouting inside the technical area. He's livid with his side. Reuters Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action 47. Marcus Rashford very nearly makes an instant impact. The substitutes motors down the left and cuts inside before Wan-Bissaka manages to recover. 46. Jose Mourinho was out and slumped on the bench around 3 minutes before the rest of his side came out. He's not a happy bunny. 45. And we are back underway, folks. Let's see if Jose Mourinho has managed to mold these into a team in the last 15 minutes. Marcus Rashford replaces Scott McTominay. Gary Neville on Monday Night Football. It's been nowhere near good enough. Pogba's great strength is that he plays with freedom like he's playing on the park with his mates, but his great weakness is that he's playing on the park with his mates. It's like everything he does is all for a YouTube or Instagram video. It's like it's not serious, like it's a joke to him. There's no wonder Jose Mourinho has left him out in recent weeks. Reuters Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action. Crystal Palace 1-0 Manchester United. Jamie Carragher looks mystified when trying to analyze Manchester United's performance. About Paul Pogba and Alexis Sanchez, he said, "These two are like two kids in the schoolyard, where the two best players stroll about doing what they want. Hard to argue with that." Twitter roundup. Dolly, we are playing like a team that has been brought together overnight. It's like none of these players even know each other on the pitch. Zero sense of movement, zero awareness, zero desire. It's just shambolic. Jerry, football without tactics. What do they do all week in training? Too many of these performances this season. No style of play, a bunch of individuals and the defense is awful. Whole team playing with no purpose. Jason, do they hold raffles in random Manchester infant schools to see who wins the prize of doing Paul Pogba's hair for the next game? I've told you 1,000 times, Jason. Yes, that's exactly what they do. Reuters Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action. Crystal Palace 1-0 Manchester United hit. Manchester United playing like a team of individuals while Crystal Palace are fighting as a team. Roy Hodgson's side deservedly take their lead and as the break. 45. McTominay earns the first booking of the evening with a wild challenge on Van Aanholt. The midfielder was forced to recover for Valencia, who completely sold himself. Palace load the box, cleared. 43. Not to be outdone, Sanchez knocks a couple of his own passes out of play. United are being sloppy in possession. Matic rolls the ball to Lingard, who ignores the overlapping Young and shoots 3 or 4 yards wide. Reuters Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action 40, and again. Pogba ignores the simple pass and hooks it straight behind for a goal kick. Sanchez looks mystified with his hands on his hips. No idea what he was going for there. 37. Pogba looks up and spanks a 45-yard cross-field pass straight out of play. At his finest and a clear sign United are growing frustrated. 34. We've only seen flashes of quality from the visitors to this point. Jesse Lingard and Romelu Lukaku combine nicely, but having danced his way into the area, the winger is ushered away from goal by Van Aanholt. 31. Roy's master plan is working quite nicely so far. The Eagles are having to absorb more pressure in the last few minutes, but they look good on the break. 28. Butterfingers. Hennessy, under no pressure, drops a routine cross from the right. He gets away with it, but not a confidence booster for the stopper. 26. Sanchez looks the key to Manchester United getting back into this. He's finding little pockets of space but hasn't quite been able to deliver the killer pass. 23. Alexis Sanchez plays a clever ball into the box for Romelu Lukaku, but the Belgian just can't quite get his shot away. Looks like Van Aanholt did just enough to put him off. Reuters Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action 20. Nemanja Matic is the latest player to sloppily concede possession. This time Sorloth shrugs him off before firing straight at De Gea. 17. Paul Pogba gives the ball away and Townsend manages to steal a corner. Nothing comes from it, but Manchester United are looking off the pace here. 14. Well, that was the easy part done for Crystal Palace. Now for the business of defending a lead for 78 minutes. This is the first time that the Eagles have ever led Manchester United in a Premier League match. Crystal Palace 1-0, Manchester United, TOWNSEND 11. I can already hear Gary Neville preparing his scathing criticism of Victor Lindelof. Christian Benteke does well to hold the ball up before playing in, and Ross Townsend, whose shot finds the top corner via deflection. It wouldn't have caused De Gea any problems if it hadn't taken the deflection, but Lindelof did turn his back on the shot. Reuters. Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates, latest Premier League action. 10. The visitors are shifting gears now. Sanchez, Lukaku and Lingard have combined nicely with Valencia and Young bombing forward at every opportunity. 8. Big chance. Lukaku drops deep and flicks it on for Lingard, whose header is blocked by Hennessy. Exciting opening here. 6. Aerial bombardment seems to be Roy Hodgson's approach this evening. David De Gea and the Manchester United defense have already dealt with 2 or 3 hoofs forward. The Eagles have started brightly. Smalling and Lindelof don't look comfortable with the latter shanking a clearance behind for a corner. Tompkins goes for a spectacular overhead kick, and shockingly it was miles off target. 3. Nothing has really happened yet, with Van Aanholt hitting the deck early and requiring treatment. He's up and about now. 1. And we're off. Manchester United to climb back above Liverpool, or will Crystal Palace claw their way out of the relegation zone? Lot of climbing analogies this evening. Reuters. Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates, latest Premier League action. 1-minute warning. 1958. Right, the Crystal Palace Eagle has done its thing, mostly flying from one side of the stadium to the other, and we are almost underway. Stand by. Crystal Palace vs Manchester United 1955. Right then, here are the lineups for tonight's showdown. Can we call it a showdown? Whatever we are calling it, Anthony Martial isn't involved. Crystal Palace 11, Hennessy, Van Aanholt, Tompkins, Kelly, Wan-Bissaka, Milivojevic, MacArthur, Schlupp, Townsend, Sorloth, Benteke. Subs: Cavalieri, Lee, Suar, Delaney, Rakup, Jack, Riedwald. Manchester United 11, De Gea, Young, Lindelof, Smalling. Valencia, Matic, McTominay, Pogba, Lingard, Sanchez, Lukaku. Subs: Pereira, Bailey, Mata, Carrick, Rashford, Shaw, Darmian. Reuters. Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates, latest Premier League action. Martial update. 1950. Time for the conspiracy theories regarding Anthony Martial's whereabouts. Jose Mourinho has confirmed that the Frenchman will not feature tonight, but he was pretty evasive about the details. He said, "He's injured. I don't know so well, but yesterday he felt he was not ready for the game. We trust in the other players. We never complain. We always say that an injury means an opportunity for another player, and of course, Jesse is a very good player. No problem. I sense this isn't the last we'll hear about this." Crystal Palace vs Manchester United *. Crystal Palace haven't won any of their 17 Premier League meetings with Manchester United. D3L14, a Premier League record for most games against an opponent without winning. *. Palace have only scored 5 goals during that 17-game run. *. The Eagles' last top-flight win against United came at Selhurst Park in May 1991, with Ian Wright scoring once and John Salico twice. Reuters. Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates, latest Premier League action. MNF 1945. Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher are ripping half the Premier League apart together on Monday Night Football. Worth the subscription alone. Anyway, Carragher was asked if victory tonight effectively confirms Manchester United would finish in top 4. "I think it does on the back of Chelsea's result yesterday, and Chelsea have to play Liverpool, Chelsea have to play Spurs. Points are getting dropped there, so I don't see any problem with Manchester United now in the top 4. That was the talk maybe a few weeks ago. There was a couple of iffy results that they had, but the position they're in now, I think if they win tonight, and the fact Chelsea play 2 of their rivals, I think they'll have no problem. Now it will be about can they get second." Getty. Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates, latest Premier League action. "We'll do our best." 1935. Crystal Palace manager Roy Hodgson on the prospect of relegation. "At the moment there is no need for any of us, certainly not the players or myself, to give that any thought. We think about each day as it comes. We think about how we are going to approach the Next game, how we will do our very best to get points from that game and how we are going to make certain that in getting points from the game we accumulate enough so at the end of the season we are not one of the unfortunate three. Undit Mourinho 1930, Jose Mourinho has signed with broadcaster Russia Today to be a pundit for the World Cup in the summer. The Manchester United boss is a major coup for the state-funded television station and he says he's looking forward to working in Russia. Mourinho said, "I am very happy to join the team at RT. I am looking forward to attending the World Cup in Russia this summer and sharing my insights into the games." Mourinho's insights are likely to be utilized on the second day of the tournament when Euro 2016 champions Portugal take on 2010 World Cup winners Spain. Put him on the couch next to Roy Keane and I might tune in. Getty Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action. Ozil Talk 1925. I can't believe we're even discussing this, but there's only 118 days until the transfer window opens. I'll give you the skinny. Bet stars are claiming that Ozil has seen his odds of joining Manchester United fall to 3/1 after he was seen throwing his gloves off in frustration at the weekend. The bookmakers make no mention of the German signing a new £350,000 a week, 3.5-year contract which makes him the highest paid player in the history of the club. BetStar's director of trading Ian Marmion said, Mesut Ozil let his frustration slip during Arsenal's defeat to Brighton this weekend, throwing his gloves to the ground as the Seagulls scored their second goal of the game. And odds have now been slashed on the German midfielder joining a Premier League rival. I think I'll save my pennies for Cheltenham. Reuters Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action. Late arrival 1920, fashionably late. Manchester United, or the coach driver at least, will be sent to detention after the match for turning up late. The official excuse is bad traffic, but I reckon Alexis Sanchez was busy taking Adam and Humber for walkies. Twitter roundup. Manchester United will drop at least 4 points before they meet Manchester City. Jamie, Hiro Redwald should be starting. What has he got to do to get a run in the team? Shocking decision. Soren, a Manchester United victory is so important ahead of Saturday's match with Liverpool. I'm ready to see a hat-trick from Romelu Lukaku. Reuters Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action. Team news. Manchester United 1910, no real surprises with Jose Mourinho's selection. Jesse Lingard, who netted the winner against Chelsea last weekend, replaces Anthony Martial for Manchester United. The Frenchman isn't even in the squad tonight. I'm sure we'll have an update on why he's absent later. Team news. Crystal Palace 1905. Let's start with the hosts this evening. Roy Hodgson has made a few changes for tonight's clash. Jeffrey Schlupp and Martin Kelly return to the starting 11 in place of Timothy Fosu-Mensah, who obviously can't play against his parent club, Hiro Redwald. Still no sign on Wilfried Zaha, although reports suggest it won't be too long before we see him back. Can't come soon enough. Getty Crystal Palace vs Man Utd live updates. Latest Premier League action. Crystal Palace vs Manchester United 1900. Right then, here are the lineups for tonight's showdown. Can we call it a showdown? Whatever we are calling it, Anthony Martial isn't involved. Crystal Palace 11, Hennessy, Van Aanholt, Tompkins, Kelly, Wan-Bissaka, Milivojevic, MacArthur, Schlupp, Townsend, Sorloth, Benteke. Subs, Cavalieri, Lee, Suar, Delaney, Rakup, Jack, Riedwald. Manchester United 11, De Gea, Young, Lindelof, Smalling. Valencia, Matic, McTominay, Pogba, Lingard, Sanchez, Lukaku. Subs, Pereira, Bailey, Mata, Carrick, Rashford, Shaw, Darmian. Have yours 1858. If you want to vent your frustrations, or discuss any issues in the world of football, within reason, then get in touch. You can either comment at the bottom of the page or contact me via Twitter using the hashtag Evening 1855. Welcome to our live coverage of the Premier League. What a relief that we don't have to discuss the weather tonight. Apparently British people love talking about it, but if I have to feign interest in snow for another second, I'm moving to the Sahara. Moving swiftly on, we're here at Selhurst Park this evening to see if Manchester United can navigate their way past relegation-threatened Crystal Palace. You want some team news? Okay, it's coming shortly. Stand by. Sunday, March 4, 2018. Jose Mourinho and Paul Pogba are spotted having a chat at Stockport train station as Manchester United head to London Crystal Palace vs Manchester United. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is unlikely to be involved for Manchester United, although the veteran Swede is back in training after a knee issue. Defenders Marcos Rojo, Daley Blind and Phil Jones have missed recent matches with injuries, while midfielders Marouane Fellaini and Ander Herrera remain absent. Crystal Palace's injury crisis will be eased by the returns of Martin Kelly and Jeffrey Schlupp. The Eagles signed keeper Diego Cavalieri on Friday but on loan. Timothy Fosu-Mensah is ineligible against his parent club. Yohan Cabaye, Julian Speroni, Joel Ward, Scott Dan, Mamadou Sakho, Jason Puncheon, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Wilfred Zaha, Bakary Sako and Connor Wickham are all expected to be absent. Stream details you can if you have Sky Sports. They will be showing it on their Sky Sports main event, Sky Channel 401, Sky HD 435, Virgin Channel 511, BT Channel 402, BT HD 437, and Premier League, Sky Channel 402, Sky HD 436, Virgin Channel 512, BT Channel 416, BT HD 438 channels. Those without a Sky Sports subscription can still watch the match via Now TV Day Passes, which let you add Sky Sports channels for 24 hours, start at £6.99 a day, with a weekly pass priced from £10.99.